we'll do it this way. I'm on my way home. You guys can probably tell. And it was an interesting day. So we're gonna call this vlog this week the week of observations. I am being observed 4 times this week, which is fun. Super going to enjoy that. And today it kicked it off. I have being observed today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday's the only day I'm not getting observed, and I'm joking with all my coworkers. I'm like, I'm just not coming to work on Friday. I mean, what's the point of coming in if you're not gonna get observed? Obviously, I'll come in. I don't want to deal with having to write sub-plans for Friday. But today was just an interesting day with the observation. So it was my principal who observed me. And I was gonna do it the way that I normally do class, because I wanted, and what I'm looking for in my observations and when I go in to talk to the principal is feedback on things I can like actually improve on, some tangible things that she saw that I was lacking and I could improve on, kind of a thing. What I got was something different, and it was interesting. So I'm a first-year teacher. I'm not hiding that or anything like that. I'm definitely a first-year teacher, and there's like a rating scale, and to get like highly efficient on things, like I don't expect for me to get highly efficient on anything for a very long time, if ever. Because the way that I would want it to go, honestly, as a first year teacher, is there's things that I am lacking. And I know that I'm lacking on those things, and that's okay. And so a lot of times as a first year teacher, you get that you are minimally efficient or emerging, kind of a thing. And that's okay. That's okay with me. Like you have to even get like efficient on something, you have to like do something above and beyond to get efficient on anything. And there are a few things that she did mark me efficient on. And so that felt good, that, you know, I'm efficient on some things as a first year teacher. First time for her coming in to observe me. When I went in to talk to her, however, I was confused. I was very confused. And I think because she was slightly confused. So this is the principal, and she just had, like, she mentioned that she saw the objectives on the board and stuff like that. So I had things posted like I was supposed to. And she said, you know, that she came in late to the period and just, you know, a bunch of different things. And she had questions for me. And I was like, okay. And there was a lot of questions on how the resource class ran. And she made mention of a few students, and she's like, that student didn't get anything right. When you asked him, like, no, and he won't. I was like, but I'm going to keep asking him because it makes him think, and it includes him in the class, and like it helps growth to give him a challenge. And a lot of the questions that she asked was just about, well, you do know that the students take the same test as everybody else at the end of the year, and they're going to take the same ACT test, and they're going to take, it was a lot of test-oriented questions. I'm like, yes, I know that they're going to take the same tests and stuff. And we talked about how my class was ran and how grades were set up, and I told her that, you know, if they do everything in my class the right way, and then they take a test and they get a 0, they completely bomb every single test, get a 0. The lowest grade, if they do everything that they're supposed to do and get all the points that they're supposed to get, the lowest grade that they would get is a C. That's the lowest, C-. And she was very concerned about that, saying, well, how do you know that they are proficient in it if they're failing all the tests? You're like, if that's the only thing that they're doing on their own. I'm like, that's not the only thing that they're doing on their own. There's comprehension checks along the way that guide the lessons on what I need to review. There's the bell ringers that, they're supposed to do on their own at first. And then I'm like, the homework they do on their own, like they get a homework day. They can ask questions, yes, but they are responsible of doing that on their own. And I'm like, so if they're understanding it during a review where they're doing it on their own, and the homework that they're doing it on their own, and then they're getting to the test and they're failing it because it's just the word test, why fail them? And I'm also thinking to myself, if you wanted me to grade it like that, where they're failing all the tests, and you want me to fail them in the class, you're going to have a lot of students that are going to be super seniors and beyond, because they're just not going to make it. Like, I'm the resource teacher, and I'm not guaranteeing that everyone's going to pass my class, but if you're going to put forth all the effort, you're going to graduate. Like, that's where we're at. Like, that's how it works. And she was just really confused, and she was asking me about all these tests and stuff, saying, well, what's going to happen when they take all these tests? And I flat out told her, like, they're going to fail. They're going to fail the ACT. They're going to fail the end of year assessments. That's what's going to happen. But what I'm looking at that end of year assessment, how did the student do last year and how did they do this year? Is there some kind of growth? That's what I'm looking at. I don't want it to get worse, but there should be some kind of growth. We're not looking for passing in resource. We're looking for growth, kind of a thing. It was interesting, to say the least. And she made comments like, it must be nice to have a class of 6 students, and just all these weird, random comments to me. And I left not knowing how I really did actually teaching, because all of her questions were directed to me about kind of how my class was run, and like just different things. It was bizarre. Well, then I come to find out, I was talking to my mentor teacher, and I was like, it was just so bizarre. I'm like, I don't know how I'm really doing according to her, because I really didn't, that wasn't the feedback, wasn't really pertaining. Like, the one thing she really liked that I did was a 5 to 5 comprehension check. She really liked that. She really liked that I got like all the students participating actively and stuff like that. She didn't like that the students didn't do a lot of work on their own. And granted, this was the first day that we were doing this lesson. We're on 3.2, and it was the first day. And so there wasn't going to be a lot of you do. Right now, it's a lot of I do, we do. The you do comes with the homework and with the comprehension checks, and it comes with the puzzle times and stuff like that. That's the you do. Notes are all I do, we do together kind of a thing. So it was just interesting. But I come to find out she's never even been a teacher. And so my mentor, she's like, take what she says to you. She's like, she's a great administrator and stuff. She runs a tight ship, but she is very test driven. And I guess she's never been an actual in-classroom teacher. She went through it to get her administration through counseling. So she was actually like a high school guidance counselor kind of a thing. And then she went into administration. And the same thing with one of our assistant principals. So out of the 3 administration that we have at our school, only one of them has actually been a teacher in a classroom, and she was a special ed teacher. And so I kind of wish that she would have come down and observed me, because I hear that she goes, yeah, you did great. This was awesome. This was awesome. Because like the principal was like, it was a very slow paced class. And I'm like, and if I went any faster, like they would just not get it. Like I don't think she gets what the resource classrooms do on a daily basis. Like I don't know. I was confused by the whole thing. Tomorrow I get another observation. It's only gonna be for about 15 minutes or so. It's one that I have to really like focus on making sure my praise is really high and my corrective things is lower kind of a thing. So we're looking for those ratios right now. I just want to be the best teacher that I can be, and I find it really hard to try to be that teacher when the people who are observing me don't understand what my job really is. Comments like, it must be nice to only have 6 students. You're right, it's nice having a small class size that we can all gather around a table and I can give them each that one-on-one attention and stuff like that. But what's not nice is that I have such a range of students that it's really hard to make sure that I'm meeting all of their needs constantly. This is really shaking, so I'm gonna get through this fast here. Like, that's not, the small classroom sizes, it's whatever. I'm gonna let you guys go because my camera's shaking real bad. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow and fill you in on my observation tomorrow. I might not actually talk to the person observing me tomorrow. I'm going to talk to her on Thursday when she's observing me that day. But I will let you know how I feel I did tomorrow. So like I said, this is the week of just observations and it's going to be fun. But I'll let you guys go. So, bye. Good morning. So it is Tuesday. The 5th. Tuesday the 5th. And I'm gonna have an off day. And that's not me being like complaining or anything like that. No, I'm gonna have an off day because I had an off night and something happened with a staff member at my school that kind of triggered things for me. A staff member that I knew, I talked to her on Friday. And I talked to her every week, and like, one of the nicest people that you know, like, she passed away on Sunday. Like, she was young, like younger than me, and supposedly it was natural causes that her roommate found her in her bed. And I'm just shocked and taken back, and it kind of, especially when I know the person, like, I'm thrown back into flashbacks of my mother when I found her. And so I found out last night because my department head texted us asking if we wanted to have our weekly meeting, and everyone's like, skip it. And she goes, well, I just found out that there's a staff meeting at 7:30, so we're not gonna have our meeting for sure. And then we were all like, what? There's a staff meeting? Like, what's going on? I thought it was because the superintendent's coming tomorrow and Thursday. Another one of my team members goes as the assistant to figure out who's actually getting to work on time. And then my department head goes, since I already opened the can of worms, this is what's going on, and let us know. And I'm still really bad with names, so even though I knew the person, I couldn't remember her name exactly. Like, horrible person, I know. But I called another coworker and I was like, is this person? She's like, like, yeah, and obviously she didn't read the text. She's like, and I'm like, I didn't want it to be that person. I didn't want it to be that person. And she's like, what's going on? I'm like, did you read the text? And she's like, no, what's going on? And so I told her, and she just kind of shut down. She knew her way longer than I did. And I was like, are you okay? And she made a comment that shocked me, saying that she's never experienced any kind of loss in her life before. And I'm like, what? I didn't say that to her, but like, I called my sister afterwards because I needed to just kind of be on the phone with somebody, because Chris he left because he had to go get something. And so sorry, I'm gonna shake that. Give me a minute. I'm at a red light. But like, it just shocked me that she's never had any loss. And I was talking to my sister, and my sister's like, Amy, it's not normal for somebody your age to have had to go through as much loss as you have, because when I was in elementary school, 3rd grade, my best friend passed away. And then in middle school, my grandmother passed away. And in high school, my boyfriend passed away. And a year after I was married, my grandfather passed away. And then about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, my mother passed away. And then just like 2 years ago, my Grammy passed away. Like, I've suffered, and then this past year even, with the 2 pregnancies that I lost, like, I've experienced a lot of loss. And so this is kind of just hitting hard for me. Like, I feel like it's hitting harder than it should. And I have to go in, and I'm going to have to act like everything's okay for my students, and act like I'm not going through something hard today, and I'm getting observed today, of course, and I just going through it. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll talk to you after school, let you know how the observation went today, just how my day went. And so yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello, let's get going. It is, and we're only gonna be talking until it starts shaking violently on me. But it is right now 4:09. I'm gonna go get my groceries. That light is like creating that shadow, that beautiful shadow on me. We're gonna push through, even though you probably can't see me very well. Okay, so today, my observation for today went really well. Just a second. She came in a bit late, and that's okay. And she wrote down like the seating arrangement and kind of monitored how often I did praise and corrections and stuff like that. And my outcome was like 4.5 to 1. So it's really good. So the praise over corrections is really good. And then she'll come back on Thursday and do the same thing. So we'll see how that goes. And then, yeah. So that went fine. As of how I did today and I felt today, kind of after I explained things that kind of happened, it was just an interesting day for me. Like, it was just, I was in a funk more than anything. So that's that. I have to tomorrow finish writing up an IEP because the IEP meeting's tomorrow. I also have a meeting tomorrow. I have to be at school at 6:30, and then I have a meeting after school that I have to go to. It's the TIPS meeting. So I'm pulling an 11-hour day tomorrow, so that sounds like total fun. I'm so excited about it. Not really. But yeah, that's everything for today. I'm gonna go home. I have a doTERRA package at home, so you might see that video before you see this one. So I'm gonna go home, film myself unboxing it. I'm super excited about it, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello. It's now 4:20, and I'm ready to go home, and it's Thursday, so I didn't even vlog yesterday, you guys. So let's catch up from yesterday, because yesterday was kind of a crazy day. I got to school before 6:30 because I had a 6:30 meeting. Went to my 6:30 meeting and then proceeded with my day, which in and of itself was kind of uneventful. Well, other than the fact during my first hour, the superintendent of the district came into my class to observe me for about 30 minutes. And we talked for a little bit afterwards, and he pretty much just thanked me for working for the district. He did make a comment about the fact that I don't seem like, I don't act like I'm a first-year teacher. So he did make that comment, which, for whatever it is, well, I'm just saying it is what it is, kind of a thing. And then during the last class, I got an email from my oldest son's teacher about his day. And let me just say, it was not a good day. And then I felt like a horrible mother, because he started speech therapy, and that's been like kind of a trigger for him, where they're taking him out of his favorite subject area, writing. And so that triggers him once a week, like, I'm missing my favorite class, I'm missing my favorite class. Well, he was getting taken out today. But yesterday he was already triggered about it, because he wasn't able to finish a writing assignment. And I guess that's because the school counselor came in to talk to them, because he does that like once a month or something like that. And so that kind of just set him off. And then at recess, he didn't want to play the same game that all of his friends were playing, so then he had a meltdown about that. And then he came inside and he was already in a bad mood, and so he started like shouting the phonograms during like their phonogram time. And his desk buddy like asked him to stop, and instead of stopping, he got mad at her, and he made this gesture to her, like, I'm gonna punch you. And so then the teacher had to pull him out of the classroom, saying we don't threaten people, the classroom's a safe place, which triggered a meltdown. Another one because she said that she was gonna have to let me know about it, and he was very apologetic, and that triggered another meltdown. And then during the second recess, he sat on the curb and didn't want to play with anyone because he was just so sad, and all of his friends were trying to get him to be happy and cheer up, and it wasn't working. And then later on the day, he had to do something on the computer. Instead of typing in his password, he kept just typing in Cole is depressed. So that was his day. And I get this email while I'm working, and I tend to read these ones even though I'm working, because I need to know what's going on with my son. He's been having a really rough year. Like, everyone at first thought everything was really great and grand and perfect, and it's not. He's had so many rough days. Like, it's ridiculous how many rough days he's had. I feel like at least once a week I get some kind of email about how he's had some kind of meltdown in class. It's a weekly thing. And there's nothing I can do. And so, but instead of being able to, after school, going home and being with my son and helping him and getting him through that moment, I had to go to another meeting. So I felt like the worst mother in the world, because instead of helping my son, I was going to a meeting to better learn how to help everyone else's kids. It was the worst. I mean, I learned a lot, but it was the worst. So yeah, and then here I am, 4:24, and I'm still at work because I was observed again today by somebody else. 4 observations this week, and I needed to start doing things after that observation to prep for next week, kind of a thing. And I told my coach that I feel very overwhelmed right now, that I am burnt out, that I am just tired, and I'm like, I just need to make it to Thanksgiving. I just need to make it to Thanksgiving, which is sad because just like 2 weeks ago we had fall break, and I'm already just like, I need to make it to Thanksgiving. I need to make it to Thanksgiving because I am just so tired. You put in so many hours, and I'm not going to complain about the pay because I knew what that was going to be going into this and everything. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just saying that I put in very long hours, and I am just tired. I am so tired. But I got observed today again, and we were trying to get a new baseline for my positive to negative ratio with my students, and so I have gone above and beyond with that, so that's fine at this point. I need to do more positive behavior statements, and then we were talking about talking out in class and stuff like that, and ways that we can we brainstormed ways so we can fix that. And so I need to start something with that. It was just, but overall it was a good meeting, and I'm excited to keep growing in my profession and learn. Like I said, I am so gosh darn tired. And today I also spent most of the day creating data sheets for me to track data on and like come up with a system. And my desk, you guys, that's my desk. I don't like, and this isn't even clean. Like this part, like it's just all over the place, all over the place. This is my life. This is how scattered and overwhelmed I feel. Like it's reflected on my desk. Tomorrow before I leave, I'll be cleaning that up because I can't come in on Monday with it like that. I can't do it. So that'll be taken care of. But as of right now, and I even have stuff on a table over there that I'm not even gonna take care of tonight. I'm not even gonna take care of it. I'll take care of it when I come in tomorrow. And then I have papers that need to be graded all over the place. I have homework I need to get done from my schooling. Dishes over here that are dirty that need to get cleaned. I'm just gonna bring home and put in the dishwasher. I'm not even washing my hands right now. There's just a lot. There's just a lot. So with that being said, I'll let you go. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna try not to fall asleep right away. And I'm gonna do some more homeworky type things. And I'm gonna try to leave work at work today. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow and wrap up this crazy week. And my head's starting to hurt, so that's great. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow to wrap up this crazy week. And so yeah, bye. It's Friday. It's Friday. And I'm about ready to go home. It's now 3:47. School gets out at 1:30 on Fridays, and so most teachers actually leave pretty close to that. And I am here because I've been getting things ready. So, like, I needed to clean off my desk. I needed to feel more organized. I felt out of control. And so, good news is, it's back to what it should be. I feel more in control now, so that makes me feel good. It's been an emotional day for me too. Like I feel like I'm going crazy. I felt Like, my desk was out of control. I felt out of control. Just, I felt like everything was spiraling downwards. And then to top everything off, I got a phone call from my kid's school, a teacher, Cole's teacher, and they held the IEP team met together today. The only problem with that is I am part of that IEP team, and they didn't tell me that they were meeting together, and so I was really kind of bugged by that. And while I know that, like, I have staffings for students, and I meet not with like the whole IEP team. Like, I don't have an LEA going in, I don't have a gen ed teacher going in, like anything like that. Like, I meet with like specialists to discuss certain students and just kind of to talk about like progress and stuff like that. And then I contact the parents and let them know kind of what's going on and the next steps going forward, kind of a thing. But like, this was something I initiated. I sent an email to everyone on the IEP team, and I initiated this. And then to get a call after the fact of what's going on, like, I felt kind of betrayed, honestly. Like, it didn't sit well with me. Like, the least that they could have done was sent me an email saying, you know, we're gonna gather together, we're gonna discuss a few options, and then we're gonna call you and fill you in, instead of calling me after the fact, kind of a thing. Like, that just, it didn't sit well with me, and I'm actually really upset about it. Like, I'm upset about it. And they talked about moving his Tuesday speech time, because I guess he goes twice a week, not just once a week, he goes twice a week. And they're talking about moving his Tuesday speech time to a different time during the day. And they were talking about how, you know, the group that he mates with is actually a really good support for him, which, like, when I emailed them, I was saying, you know, we have a few options here. One, we can figure out and try to change the time, which I know that might not be possible. Like, I'm a very understanding person. Like, I really am. I'm an understanding person. I'm not some crazy person, I feel. Like, I'm very understanding, and I understand how hard it is to, like, fit people into schedules and to come up with times to do things and stuff like that. Like, I understand. I'm not crazy. I understand. And so I said, the other thing is we might need to adjust the behavior plan and come up with some steps and stuff like that, and like to deal with what's going on. So I'm the one that initiated it. And they did both of the things that I talked about. So they changed one of the things, and then they adjusted the behavior plan and stuff. And so, like, I should be okay with it. I should be okay with them meeting and then kind of contacting me afterwards. But then it wasn't even a special ed teacher that contacted me. This is like a special ed thing. Like, I would never in my life ever talk about changing speech times and the behavior plan and stuff like that, and then have the general ed teacher call the parent. That's like everything in the realm of the IEP, and the gen ed teacher is not responsible for that. And the gen ed, I'm like, why are you, and I asked, I'm like, why are you calling me about this? Like, why isn't the special ed teacher calling me about this? Like, this is, and like, I think the other thing is the special ed teacher has said on more than one occasion that she doesn't know my son because he's never had to go back and see her, and like all these different things. And I'm thinking, well, maybe you should be calling him in to like build trust and like be like, it's okay to come back here and stuff like that. Because he went to go see the other special ed teacher because there was that bond. They did have that bond, that relationship. But then it all kind of, it sat with me the wrong way. It really did. It sat with me the wrong way. And I don't mean to complain. And I don't mean to sound like some crazy parent. Because I feel like I sound like a crazy parent. So yeah. There was that. And then I called my husband and I told him about it. And I just started crying because I feel like I'm failing as a teacher this week. even though I was observed 4 times and like it was really good feedback, but I just feel like a failure. I feel like a fake. I think I'm just having one of those weeks. I'm having just one of those weeks where I'm kind of not doubting getting into the profession or anything like that, but like just I'm having a hard week, and that's the end of that. Today we did a Friday focus thing. I'm gonna start doing this every Friday, and like this is what kind of set me off for my day 2. So yesterday I created the Friday focus, and I decided to do this quiz, and they're gonna take it online every week so they can get a Chromebook and take it, because it grades it automatically for me, and then I can just kind of go over it with them, send it to them so they can retake it until they get at least an 80%. I had 5 questions on it, so they just needed to get 4 out of 5. And when I came in today, I was trying to log in to like get things going, and the site was down. And because they were doing maintenance, like an education site was down during school day because they were doing maintenance on it. I'm like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I was able to somehow get my students into it, and so it worked, but like it was a nightmare. Absolutely a nightmare. And then I forgot that it was Friday and I needed to do a bell ringer for my co-talk class, and so the bell rang for me to go to the co-talk class. I'm like, the bell ringer. So I took like 10 seconds and came up with one really quick. Like I've had a day where I'm like going crazy. And then on the Friday focus quiz that I was doing, my students, they like, some of them just didn't even try. They didn't even care. Didn't even try. I had one student get 1 problem done. He's fully capable of doing it and getting 100%, and he got 1 problem done. Like, it just bugged me really a ton. Like, that attitude kind of a thing. It really bugged me. So then there was all that, and then just at the end of the day, the phone call. It's been a rough Friday. And like I said, now it's almost 4. I'm still here. But that's my day, and that's been my week. It's been super crazy. It's been super stressful, honestly. I feel burnt out. I feel exhausted. I need this weekend, and sadly this weekend is going to be done doing homework, and I get to help my son with his science project thing, which that's going to be stressful all in itself because he's kind of a perfectionist, and so that's going to be fun. So yeah, it's not going to be a super relaxing weekend because I have so much things I need to get done, and my house is a disaster, and so that needs to get cleaned. Like, my house needs to get, it's a nightmare. It's all just a nightmare. But I'll let you guys go, and I'm going to talk to you guys next week. So I will see you guys later.